Every great transformation begins with a single, uncomfortable decision. The decision to stop lying to yourself. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack discipline. They fail because they choose comfort over responsibility. They fail because they wait to feel motivated before they act. But motivation is unreliable. It rises when things are easy and disappears the moment things become hard. Discipline is different. Discipline is what shows up when your emotions tell you to quit. Discipline is what carries you forward when your mind is full of doubt. If you're waiting to feel ready, you will be waiting for the rest of your life. Look at your daily habits. Look at the small, invisible choices you make every day. Those choices are shaping your future more than any big dream ever will. When you waste an hour, you're not just wasting time. You're training yourself to treat your life as something disposable. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you the life you want. No one is going to force you to wake up early, to work when you're tired, to push when you're scared. This responsibility belongs to you. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. If your standards are low, your life will eventually match them. If your standards are high, your life will slowly be pulled upward to meet them. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Your mind will negotiate with you. It will try to protect you from discomfort. It will say, rest a day. You can work tomorrow. You deserve a break. It won't matter if you skip just this once. But every time you listen to that voice, you strengthen the part of you that runs from pain. You teach yourself that your feelings are in control, not your values. Strength is built in moments no one sees. In the early mornings when your bed feels warm. In the late nights when your body feels heavy. In the quiet hours when quitting would be easy. And discipline is the only thing standing between you and regret. You are not weak by nature. You become weak by practice. And just like weakness is practiced, so is strength. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your worst decisions. You are not the story you tell yourself about why you can't change. You are the actions you repeat when no one is watching. If your life feels out of control, start by taking control of the smallest things. Clean your room. Organize your schedule. Take care of your body. Speak the truth to yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. Order in your environment creates order in your mind. Chaos outside becomes chaos inside. When you tolerate disorder around you, you train yourself to tolerate disorder within you. Start with what you can manage. Make your bed. Go for the walk. Do the workout you've been avoiding. Write the page. Read the book. Have the hard conversation you've been postponing. These actions may feel small, but they build the identity of someone who keeps promises to themselves. And the person who keeps promises to themselves is the person who eventually wins. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need heroic bursts of motivation. You need boring, repeatable discipline. You need systems that carry you forward. On the days when your emotions are unreliable, stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only now, and now is either used to build your future or wasted reinforcing your past. Your future self is watching you, not with anger, but with hope, hoping that you will make the hard choice today, so he doesn't have to live with regret tomorrow. Every disciplined action is a message to your future self. I respected you enough to suffer a little today, so you could suffer less tomorrow. You don't become confident by thinking confident thoughts. You become confident by doing difficult things repeatedly. Confidence is a side effect of discipline. Stand up straight. Carry yourself like someone who respects their own potential. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into a life you've outgrown. Face the chaos in your habits, your schedule, your excuses, and begin to bring order to it, one decision at a time. You are capable of far more than you allow yourself to believe. But potential means nothing without structure. Dreams mean nothing without daily discipline. The world does not reward good intentions. The world rewards those who do the work, long after the excitement fades. So, don't wait. Don't negotiate with weakness. Don't postpone your own growth. Start now, with discipline, with responsibility, with action, because the life you want is built by the discipline you practice today. Collision fire. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Most people spend their entire lives running from discomfort. They build their routines around convenience. They organize their days to avoid struggle. And then they wonder why they feel weak, anxious, and unfulfilled. You grow in resistance. You sharpen yourself against pressure. A blade that never meets friction stays dull. A mind that never faces hardship stays fragile. Your suffering is not proof that something is wrong with you. It is proof that you are alive in the arena of life. The question is not whether you will suffer. The question is whether you will let suffering shape you into something stronger or shrink you into something bitter. Every setback is an invitation to take responsibility. Not responsibility for what happened, but responsibility for what you do next. You don't control the chaos of the world. You don't control the storms that hit your life, but you control your posture in the storm. You control whether you stand upright or collapse into resentment and self-pity. Life will test you. It will test your patience. It will test your discipline. It will test whether you actually believe the words you say about wanting more. And when those tests arrive, you don't rise to your best intentions. You fall to your practice habits. That's why discipline matters. That's why structure matters. That's why routine matters. When your emotions are unstable, your habits must be stable. When your confidence disappears, your systems must remain. Stop asking for life to be easier. Ask for yourself to be stronger. You become strong by voluntarily doing difficult things, by choosing the hard path when the easy path is available, by telling the truth when lying would protect your ego, by taking responsibility when blaming others would feel better. Strength is not aggression. Strength is restraint. Strength is the ability to sit in discomfort without letting it turn you into something small. You are shaped by what you tolerate. If you tolerate chaos, your life becomes chaotic. If you tolerate mediocrity, your potential suffocates. If you tolerate excuses, your future shrinks. Stop romanticizing your own weakness. Stop telling yourself stories about why you can't change. The story you repeat becomes the prison you live in. Your environment is either pulling you forward or dragging you backward. Your friends, your media diet, your daily inputs, they are training your nervous system to either pursue growth or seek escape. Pay attention to what you consume, not just food, but information, entertainment, conversations, and the narratives you allow into your mind. You become what you repeatedly expose yourself to. If you surround yourself with complacency, discipline will feel unnatural. If you surround yourself with standards, discipline will feel normal. Your past does not get to vote on your future, unless you keep giving it permission. You can outgrow who you were. You can outgrow the habits that once protected you, but now imprison you. Growth often feels like betrayal to your old self, but it is loyalty to your future self. Stop waiting for confidence to appear. Confidence is built after action, not before it. You earn self-respect by doing things that are worthy of respect, especially when they are uncomfortable. There's a version of you that handles pressure with calm, that meets chaos with order, that faces fear with discipline. That version is not imaginary. It is built slowly, deliberately, painfully, through repeated choices and moments that feel insignificant. When you are tired and no one is watching, and quitting would be easy, that is the moment your character is formed, not in speeches, not in promises, not in emotional bursts of inspiration. Character is built in silence, in routines, in boring consistency. So take the weight, carry the responsibility, choose the harder standard, because an easy life now creates a hard life later. But a hard life now, the disciplined kind, creates a life of strength, stability, and self-respect later. Don't ask for comfort. Ask for capacity. Don't ask for less pressure. Ask for broader shoulders. The pain you avoid today becomes a regret you carry tomorrow. The pain you accept today becomes the strength you rely on tomorrow. So step forward, not because you feel brave, but because discipline is stronger than fear. You don't just need discipline. You need direction. Discipline without purpose becomes punishment. Effort without meaning becomes exhaustion. That's why so many people burn out. They work hard, but they don't know why they're working. If you don't aim at something meaningful, your suffering feels pointless. And pointless suffering breaks people. You need a vision big enough to justify the weight you're carrying. You need a reason strong enough to pull you forward when quitting would feel easier. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I respect? What kind of life would I be proud to live? What kind of man or woman will my future self thank me for becoming? Your aim doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be honest. A flawed direction is better than drifting without one. When you have a meaningful aim, discipline stops feeling like self-punishment and starts feeling like self-respect. Most people don't suffer because life is too hard. They suffer because their life is too small. Their goals are too shallow. Their vision doesn't demand enough from them. If your goals don't require sacrifice, they are not goals. They are comfort fantasies. Meaning grows in responsibility. When you carry something that matters, you discover strength you didn't know you had. When you take responsibility for your family, your work, your health, your character, your life gains weight and direction. A meaningful life is not an easy life. It is a structured life. It is a life organized around values. Instead of impulses, you will have to give things up. You will have to say no to distractions. You will have to disappoint the version of you that only wants comfort. Sacrifice is not loss. Sacrifice is investment. You are trading short-term pleasure for long-term strength, stability, and pride. The future rewards those who can delay gratification, those who can suffer a little now to avoid suffering a lot later. Stop treating your potential like a hobby. Stop working on your dreams only when it's convenient. Your future does not get built in spare time. It gets built in structured time. Design your days on purpose. If you don't schedule your priorities, your distractions will schedule themselves. Your time is either aligned with your values, or it is being sold to whatever is loudest around you. You become dangerous in the best way when your actions line up with your beliefs, when your words and habits point in the same direction, when you stop performing discipline and start living it. There will be days when the vision feels distant, when the progress feels invisible, when the work feels endless. That is when meaning matters most. That is when you don't rely on feelings. You rely on commitment. Commitment is not an emotion. It is a contract you make with your future self. Every time you honor that contract, your self-respect grows. Every time you break it, you quietly train yourself to distrust your own word. A person who cannot trust their own word cannot build a powerful life. So keep your promises to yourself, even the small ones, especially the small ones. Your character is built in how you treat the commitments no one else can see. Aim at something worthy. Structure your life around it. Let discipline become the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. You don't find meaning. You build it with responsibility, with sacrifice, with deliberate action. And once your life is organized around something that matters, you become much harder to break because you're no longer just surviving. You're moving towards something worth suffering for. You are not here by accident. Your existence carries weight. Whether you acknowledge it or not, your life influences the lives around you. Someone is watching how you live. It might be your younger self. It might be your future children. It might be people who look up to you in silence. Even when no one seems to notice, your choices are setting a standard. Greatness is not loud. It is quiet consistency over a long period of time. It is choosing to be reliable in a world addicted to convenience. It is becoming the person others can depend on when things fall apart. You don't become powerful by dominating others. You become powerful by mastering yourself. The greatest victory is not over the world. It is over your own impulses, your own excuses, your own fear. Self-mastery is built when you do what must be done, regardless of how you feel about it. Your emotions are signals, not commanders. They inform you. They do not get to control you. When you can command your own behavior, you become free. Free from mood swings. Free from addiction to comfort. Free from the endless cycle of starting and stopping. Freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is having the discipline to do what you said you would do, long after the excitement fades. Your identity is not fixed. You are not locked into the story you inherited or the mistakes you've made. Identity is built through action. You become who you repeatedly practice being. If you practice avoidance, you become someone who runs. If you practice discipline, you become someone who stands. If you practice truth, you become someone who can be trusted. The world needs people who can be trusted, people who show up, people who carry responsibility without demanding applause. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be solid. Solid in your word. Solid in your work ethic. Solid in your values. When life becomes heavy, and it will, be the person who can carry the weight. Be the person others can lean on without collapsing under pressure. This doesn't happen by accident. It is trained. It is practiced. It is earned in thousands of small, disciplined decisions that no one claps for. There will be moments when you want to disappear, when the load feels too heavy, when the progress feels too slow, when the old version of you tries to pull you back into comfort. In those moments, remember, you didn't choose the hard path to suffer. You chose it to become capable. Capability is the foundation of confidence. You trust yourself. When you have evidence that you can carry weight, that you can endure pressure, that you can finish what you start, this is how self-respect is built, not through self-love slogans, but through disciplined action, through keeping your word, through meeting your responsibilities, even when it costs you comfort. Your legacy is not what you say you believe. Your legacy is what your daily behavior teaches others about what is possible. Years from now, you will look back on this period of your life as either the moment you decided to rise or the moment you chose to remain comfortable. Comfort is seductive. It promises safety, but it slowly steals your strength. It slowly shrinks your world. It quietly convinces you that average is enough. You were not built for average. You were built for responsibility. You were built to confront chaos and bring order to it, first in your own life, then in the lives you touch. Don't wait for the world to make sense before you organize yourself. Don't wait for confidence before you act with discipline. Don't wait for approval before you live according to your values. Stand where you are. Take stock of your habits. Take responsibility for your weaknesses. And then take the next disciplined step forward. Not tomorrow. Not when it feels easier. Now, because the world does not need more spectators. It needs people who carry the load. People who choose responsibility over resentment. People who build themselves into something solid so they can be useful when things break. Become that person. Let discipline shape your identity. Let responsibility give your life weight. Let meaning organize your suffering. And when the pressure comes, stand, not because you feel strong, but because you trained yourself to be. Collision fire.